All right, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Appreciate it as always. I know you guys don't have to be here. You guys could be doing a million and one things. Dan Phillip, thank you for the early, super early, ultra early 5 by 5. But thank you. All right. Mr. Landfill, Bass, Flown Grown, thank you for the 5 by 5. Coffee First, Evolving Media, Dana, Eric, thank you for the 5 by 5. Hudson Valley, thank you for joining me this morning. Streetwise, Vision, what's going on? Dan H, Dobie, Scott, Vision again, thank you for the 5 by 5. Master Blaster, Gary, thank you for the Coffee by Coffee 5 by 5. Pimpin' Ain't Easy, thank you for the 5 by 5. Props, thank you for the whatever the hell that is, 9 by 19. Cowboy, thank you for the 5 by 5. Renee, good morning. But all right. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate it as always. So, midweek report. We're just going to talk about random shit that we might miss and not talking about whatever it is. But I do have something interesting to talk. I have a couple interesting to talk about. So the story, I have an update story. I think it's sort of like my first update story, but it has to do with in regards to the poor dude that was diddled on the train, right? So a lot of you who don't know, there was a guy, Aaron CC, I got your $5. Do I? If I do, wait, I don't know. That's a trap. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, there was a person who passed away on a train last week. And upon being passed away or dead, somebody came over and started diddling him and diddled him really hard. And so they catch the guy who did it. And the guy they caught, if I'm not mistaken, was this guy here. So as you can see, the guy with the yellow hoodie and black jacket on. That's the guy that was diddling the victim. The victim is this poor soul. This dude right here. Let me see if I can get his name. George Gonzalez. And I'm going to read the article in a little bit, but this poor guy goes out, his last day on earth getting diddled. I was talking to Prepper Revelator last night, and all I can remember was saying that if you did that to me when I was passed away, talk about a haunting. There would be no other haunting on this planet than greater than the one I would possess on this guy. The amount of haunting that I would be doing would be insanity. Gary said dead men don't talk. Definitely. But there is a person of interest, this guy here, who was last seen with the victim before he passed away. All right. So just keep that in mind. So this is the article. Victim 37, whose corpse was sexually abused on a subway train, was a hardworking father and family man, as Heartbroken Wife says. The strap hanger whose body was, violated after he died on the R train last week was a hardworking dad whose presence is dearly missed by loved ones, his estranged wife said Tuesday, stressing that he wasn't just a random person. George Gonzalez was remembered as a committed family man who had so many dreams before the 37-year-old mysteriously passed away, and his corpse was sexually abused by another man on a Manhattan subway train last week. He wasn't just a random person. He was a father. He was a family man. He cared about his family in Mexico. Apparently, they were separated. 38-year-old wife Teresa had been separated from Gonzalez about 6 years now. She said she hopes he can be remembered for who he was as someone who mattered deeply to those who loved him, rather than the ghastly crime committed on his remains. Unfortunately, what's her name? Teresa. Unfortunately, Teresa, this guy's going to be remembered for being diddled. Anybody who comes across a George Gonzalez, which there's a million George Gonzalez in New York City, he's gonna be synonymous with being diddled, and that sucks. But I mean, diddle me and talk about poltergeist and exorcist in one, coming back after you. I mean, just imagine this guy passed away. Bass Bunny, probably, or Bass Bunny, probably I don't know, man. His passing is mysterious in itself, and he's 37. No obvious signs of injury, no obvious signs of death, just other than his body being there. But the guy that I showed you, the black kid in the yellow hoodie, he was the last person seen with him before he passed away. I mean, it could have been drugs too, right? It could have been that as well. But a toxicology report takes a little bit. So when the update on this story comes out on the toxicology report, I will talk about it in the next, not the next, but whatever midweek report comes out after this is stated, excuse me, or exposed. So anyway, I want him to be remembered as a lively person that he was, that he had so many dreams and so many goals that he wanted to achieve. Not anymore. That's what I want to remember. He was a person, and he was somebody who had been loved, and who have people who missed him, and have people who loved him. Yada yada yada. All right, we get it. Gonzalez, who was married to Teresa back in 2012, had worked various jobs despite leading a turbulent life marred by alcohol abuse. There it is. She states the Post. She told the Post. He also suffered from cryosis, a condition in which the liver sustains damage. Oh, psoriasis. Sorry, I said that wrong. I don't know how. Did I read that right? Yeah. So he was an alcoholic. There you go. He had been suffering. Said the Brooklyn. He had been suffering. Said a Brooklyn analysis, who shared the 13-year-old son with the victim, and did not want her name to be published. The Brooklyn analyst who shared the 13-year-old son with the victim, but did not want to be. But her name that must be somebody else. Anyway, he had been battling alcoholism and had psoriasis, and was pretty much it just caught up to him. There you go. Medical examiner on Tuesday said the autopsy was unable to determine how the man died, and further study is required. Sources initially said police suspected succumbed to natural causes, I guess. But 37-year-old alcoholism? Cirrhosis of the liver. Excuse me. Thank you. Love and life. Excuse me. Psoriasis. Psoriasis is a skin condition. Cirrhosis of the liver is what you call it. Sorry about that. Jesus Christ. It's too early for this shit. It is too early. Anyway, Gonzalez immigrated to the United States from Mexico about 2 decades ago in hopes of supporting his family back home. He did many things the grieving widow recalled. He did construction. He worked in the kitchen. He was a waiter, a busboy. Anything he could really do, he tried to get ahead. But apparently, liquor won this battle, right? So, that's, again, there goes the cause. I don't know. It had to be something else too. It could not just have been drinking, and a cirrhosis. I guess I don't know. But listen. I know some guys here who are like, if I do a live stream and I'll show you a guy that I grew up with, this guy's in bad shape. I don't know how he's even still functioning. I don't know how he's still walking around. And 37-year-old cirrhosis of the liver, it does take a while. So unless he was hitting it really fucking hard, I don't know. But anyway, that just sounded like a suspicious story. Just dying like that. And cirrhosis of the liver, it's a painful death. It's not like you don't just go to sleep and you die. It's a really painful death. Anyway, let's see. Wanted to talk about this. This might make some of you guys a little happy today. Just a little upbeat story. Trump administration refers to New York Attorney General Letitia James for potential prosecution of alleged mortgage fraud. New York Attorney General Letitia James, who's infamously declared that no one's above the law when she was targeting Donald Trump, was hit with a federal criminal referral for instances of alleged mortgage frauds yesterday, according to a letter obtained by the Post. Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Pulp sent a missive? I don't know what that is, to Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy AG Todd Blanche, alleging that James had falsified records to get home loans for a property in Virginia that she claimed was her principal residence in 2023, while still serving as a New York State prosecutor. That occurred in late August 2023, weeks before James began her civil fraud trial against Trump Organization for overinflating values of many of his property, which ended up in him paying $454 million judgment. James was the sitting attorney general in New York and is required by law to have her primary residence in New York State, even though her mortgage application listed her intent to have the Norfolk, Virginia property as her primary home. So hopefully they throw the book at her. Now, Dawn, she's not going to go to prison for this. This is like a slap on the wrist, or a punch in a vagina. You choose. But I don't think she's not. I don't see her going to jail for this. This is like a violation. It's not a law that she broke. It's sort of like the terms of her work. So, for example, as a New York City fireman, I'm supposed to live in the 5 boroughs, and I can't live past Orange County, upstate New York, right? So I have to live within a certain distance from the FDNY. If I live in Jersey or Pennsylvania, they could technically fire me for doing that. That's the same thing that's going to happen to her. She's not going to go to jail for this shit. You would hope she goes to jail for this shit, but she's not going to jail for this. But again, it's amazing, right? When scumbags pull scumbag moves and they have scumbaggery in the background doing scumbaggish shit, and then they try to charge somebody else for doing scumbaggery. Meanwhile, they got a fucking closet full of scumbaggery going on. There's a lot of scumbaggery, right? Scumbaggery heavy, man. But anyway, that was a little bit of uplifting news. And today, so for a lot of you are following the Carmelo Anthony saga, if you will. The Carmelo Anthony is renting, or his family's renting, a $900,000 home in a gated community, bought a new car after released on bond after the Austin Metcalf murder. So just keep this in mind. He raised money, his family raised money for Carmelo Anthony's legal fees. Meanwhile, they bought him a new car right after he got out of jail. Sort of like I'm sorry. And it's just wild because people donated their hard-working money. Whether you're liberal or not, you donated your hard-working money to this bullshit cause, and the family went out and got him a new car. Meanwhile, they're and I told you in the video, they're from money. They do well. Not that they're from money, but they do well. And the Texas teen is accused of fatally stabbing a high school football star at a track meet. Allegedly lives in a $900,000 home inside a luxurious gated community, despite requesting a judge to lower his $1 million bond because financial difficulties. Which, not for nothing, it doesn't matter whether you have financial difficulties or not. Everybody tries to get the bond lowered. Doesn't matter who you are, right? So the bond was lowered all the way down to $250,000 from $1 million. Obviously, they know somebody in the ranks of the judicial system to have that knocked down. It just wasn't financial. But now, if the judge is a real judge and he knocked it down to $250,000 from $1 million and saw that they bought him a car, they can get in trouble for this. They could definitely, he can be, remanded back to prison until they pay the difference of the $1 million. That could happen. I've heard of that happening before. Carmelo Anthony, 17-year-old, is shacked up with his family in a pricey home inside a gated community of Richwoods in Frisco, Texas, after he was released Monday on a reduced $250,000 bond for allegedly offing Austin Metcalf early this month. The home where rent is estimated to be $3,500 a month had a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a third sedan in the driveway Tuesday. He got a new car, the residents told the outlet. It looks like, if you look at the license plate, he's got a paper tag on it, and it expires June 4th. Listen, he could have also gotten a car before this whole incident happened. or his parents could have bought him this car right before the incident happened. There's also that. You have to sit. We should look at all angles before we start turning around and throwing this kid under the bus. Again, I'm not a fan of the kid. I know what was done, but I'm going to play everything as fair as I possibly can moving forward. So his parents could have got him this car, right? They could have been paying this off. They could have had already set this wheel in motion. They could have ordered this car months ago, and it just coincidentally got there while he was in jail, and then they got it to the house waiting for him when he got out. I mean, I don't know how upbeat you could be after you knife somebody and ended their life. If you have a soul, there's no uplifting, upbeat kind of life after that, especially after you did what you did, and even if it was a mistake, and it could have been a mistake. I'm not saying that, that's what he's thinking. It could have been a mistake, but knifing somebody in the heart, and to get through the breastbone, that means he had got him right under his rib cage, and probably stabbed up. So he was probably stabbing him in the gut, but he angled it up and it hit his heart, and that's where he bled out. Because to get a knife through a breastplate here is a lot, unless the blade also slipped through the intercostal space in between the ribs. There's also that. But I'm almost 1,000% sure he aimed for his gut and got underneath his chest plate, rib cage, and it pierced his heart, which I have seen once. All right, so other than that, another neighbor told the news outlet, that Anthony's family is not poor. I said that yesterday in the video. If they live in a gated community, they are not poor, that's for sure. The home has been getting flooded with deliveries, allegedly for Anthony, with Amazon trucks being seen making multiple drop-offs at his home. I guess this is also to get him out of his funk. You can't buy your way out of a funk. You can't buy your way out of the situation. And they're doing this because they know their son feels bad for them, for what he did. This kid's got to live with this shit for the rest of their life. There's no amount of packages, deliveries, cars, money that's going to get him out of this. There isn't. So the kid, unfortunately, is probably going to do time. Give Send Go fundraiser for legal fees has reached over $440,000 as of today, Wednesday. So Anthony allegedly told police he was acting in self-defense. His family claims the narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harm on the Give Fund Go legal fees. I mean, listen, whatever. If you're gonna if people are gonna donate, that is what it is. Initially, he was held on a $1 million bond until Collin County judge slashed the bond down to $250,000, ruled that he may await trial at home with an ankle monitor under 24-hour supervision from his parents or adult designee. The lowered bond came 1 week after Anthony's attorney said they would ask the court to reduce the excessive $1 million bond and ask that the local district attorney make a better determination of the charges. If they got self-defense, then this kid might walk, because that's the only reason why I would see them reducing the bond, and his lawyers stating that they need to come up with a better determination of the charges. That means there's something else there that they found, and those charges could be reduced. And if they are reduced, he might do house arrest. He might do a year in jail and house arrest. But this might not be looking like what it is. Carmelo had no prior criminal history. Given this young man has not been in any trouble before, that's why they thought the $1 million was not necessary. The family needs to be able to survive, he went on. There's been tremendous amount of pressure. I think at this point, living in a gated community, given everything and the safety of their younger children is very warranted. Security details and criminal defense are not cheap. Security details. Okay. All right. So this, yeah. This could be something else entirely. So, while I have you guys here, what are your opinions on the Blue Orion? Listen, I think they faked it. I was also wrong in thinking they didn't get out of the chairs, but they unbuckled themselves from their seat. But somebody pointed something out, and this was a good point. There was no helmets to be worn on that shuttle flight. Did you see how hard that thing landed? I mean, that thing it hit the ground at a pretty rough speed. But there were no helmets in there. Why not? Fake. All right. Yeah, psych op. A little heavy-handed with the psych op, but all right. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. Yep, all fake. Fake all day. Yeah, there was something very wrong. The helmet thing got me because I'm like, so these women never flown in space needed a special suit that NASA couldn't do because they didn't have space suits for women. They've had women before, right? And so what do you mean they couldn't design them a suit? And they just designed them a suit. Like I said, there was some biometrics in it, but the Amazon whore didn't need to design that shit. It wasn't anything special. But what I found interesting was, let's see if I can find it. The NASA, let's see if I can put it up. This is the NASA mission patch right here, right? This is the mission patch NS-31. Of course, you got the whores in space posing for this. Now, Gayle King, guys, her reaction there was something odd about the way she was behaving. I didn't like it. It wasn't nervous. It was sort of like, okay, let's get over this bullshit. Right? So anyway, if you look at their mission patch, okay, I'm showing you the mission patch. That is NS-31. But when you flip it upside down, you get this. Now, to me, that looks like the, what you call a deity. Was it Baphomet, whatever his name is? Right? It looks like a robotic version of him. It's just a little on the nose, if you ask me. Right? So now you see those two there. Let's see if I could drop this without completely screwing up my live stream. All right, so now that just looks like a robotic version of, I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong, but let's see if I can find it. I can't. Whatever. I just think that's a little, definitely a demon. Yeah. How do you pronounce that? Baphomet? Is it Baphomet? Right, all right. But anyway, you see the two. It just looks like a robotic version of him. That's all. And I don't know. I don't trust it. So you can't tell me that that's a coincidence. That shit ain't a coincidence. But yeah, man. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Where the hell did it go? Whatever, it's gone. So, yeah, this is some we're gonna Wednesday. Yo, it again. You guys saw it. It's a demon, right? And it's funny. I was looking it up. The Knights of Templar supposedly used it as their like mascot or some shit. But then it got taken over by other cultures and other cult leaders took over that deity. I guess is that what you call? Baphomet. Baphomet. Yep. Is that how you pronounce it? Baphomet. Yep. Or is it Baphomet? Baphomet. All right. Baphomet. Baphomet. Come on, guys. It can't be fucking three different Baphomet. Baphomet. All right. Baphomet, tomatoes, tomatoes. All right, good. Rhonda, that's what I heard. And remember when I said on my live stream, I said there was no videos of them inside, and then a day later they released it? They could have did it live, but they didn't. And that was the red flag. They didn't do it live, and they waited a day later to edit everything, and then they released it yesterday. I was like, you serious? There was just something that didn't seem right about the whole thing. That's all. Beetlejuice. There you go. J-Flow. That's a better one. Just Beetlejuice. Easy. If I tell you how I say it, it would sound like Spanglish way. All right. Would it be Baphomet? Baphomet. But anyway, it's got man boobs. It does. But again, and a lot of people, guys, a lot of people are not buying it. That's the crazy shit. A lot of people are not buying that mission to space. And again, it wasn't even like space. It was like fucking inner space and some shit. It was internationally recognized as space, but it's not space. No helmets. You kidding me? No real suits. Like they treated it like it was an everyday flight. And if it was an everyday flight, why put biometrics in the suit for? To monitor their fucking. Listen, you're on that flight, you're gonna panic. You know, like you're gonna get anxious on that in that fucking plane. Bath. All right. Baphomet. All right. This is what I got you guys for, to make sure I pronounce words right, because I suck at pronunciations. I don't know if it's old age or just stupidity, but yeah, man. All right, I got some fucking cleaning up to do there. All right, other than that, guys, we're probably going to go off the air in about 3 minutes. I'll have a live stream Friday, because Thursday I'm at work, unless overtime pops up Friday night, and then I won't do a live stream. I won't do a second live stream this week. Baphomet. Yes, Thomas, I've heard it pronounced that way too. Baphomet. I heard it pronounced that way. A lot of people say it differently. Bat salts, easy. There you go. It's not Baphomet. It's bat salts. But anyway, Baphomet, right? Watchmen. There's like 80 different. You guys argue amongst yourselves, but fake, even fake. Yeah, and it's funny, but it was Gayle King's reaction. It was so like nonchalant, like, yo, you're going in a rocket ship that's gonna launch into space. These chicks were not like. You look at astronauts when they're making their walk to their shuttle. They're like, yeah, you know, and they have like this nervousness to them. But these bitches were bouncing around, and Gayle King's reaction was like, all right, let's get over with this dumb shit. You know, like, I think something's going to come out more about this, and it's going to wind up being fake, and they're going to get caught with their pants down. Then Elon Musk is going to make fun of them with endless memes, because, you know, that's what he does. So, watch the video on Baphomet. 10-4. Yeah, other than that, that blue Orion just seemed like a ruse. But the other thing is, if it was fake, we'll just wait. We'll just have to wait and see. That's all. I did not hear about the Dallas school shooting. There was another one. I didn't hear anything about it. I'm checking my phone now. Right. Yeah, no, I didn't see anything about a Dallas school shooting or anything. But yeah, nothing interesting has come about. There was also something. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. New York City is going out of their way, by the way, to make sure your license plate is uncovered so they could tax the shit out of you. I've never seen New York City push as hard as they did with trying to get everybody in trouble, to making sure that your license plate is not dirty and not covered. They're going above and beyond, guys. I mean, like, you got crime, you know, spiraling out of control, or pretty high now. Crime has seemingly come down here in New York City, but now they're focused on how much more money they can rip out of your fucking pocket. Katy Perry kissing the ground is like Katy Perry kissing a dick. It's like, I don't know why people took that, you know, as any sign. You know, she's always on her knees kissing something. That's all I'm gonna say. It's Katy Perry, man. Fucking, she lives for you know, gargling cock and cum in her mouth. It's nothing new. Anyway, other than that, guys, I'm gonna go off the air. I will see you guys Friday night for the doubleheader. If not, I will see you guys next Tuesday for sure. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you guys either Friday or next Tuesday. Thank you.